Hey guys, welcome back to another Skyrim mods video. This video is not due to a recommendation. This is due because I got bored and I decided why not, they deserve an armor mod showcase, and of course, because it is armor mod showcase, it won't be the most popular and most skimpy armors that you can find on Nexus. So I'm not simply basing this on the amount of downloads it has, because we know a lot of gooners play Skyrim and we know that I am one of them, so I have to be completely unbiased and skip out all the female only armors because generally they're not safe for work. But without further ado, all mods will be down in the description. If you have a question about the video, let me know down in the comments and let's dive right in. The first mod up today, we have the mod Arise, Sons of Cyrodiil, replacing most of major factions around Skyrim, including the Imperial Legion, including the guards inside of Solitude, and also taking a step into Windhelm for the Sons of Skyrim, as they would call themselves. But of course, this isn't just so simple as Civil War. It goes even further and gives new armors and helmets to the Forsworn, which you don't really see too often, to be honest. We need to see more armors for them, considering they're pretty much naked. Well, honestly, most of you probably prefer them to be half naked. That's probably why they don't get many armor mods, now that I think about it. This mod overhauls the Imperial Legion in its entirety, including the guards as I mentioned before, but also giving every single rank and faction inside the Imperial Legions new colors, new helmets, and armors to go with them, as well as even going further to overhaul the weapons and the Penance's Oculus, which pretty much is hard to find a mod for, and honestly is probably the best armor in this entire pack. But if you want to, when you're installing this, you can pick and choose what you want. It doesn't come as an all-in-one. There's multiple ESPs, and I just have the all-in-one downloaded so I can showcase all of it, which also extends to the Stormcloaks, which does in fact extend to the Stormcloaks, who have gotten a more barbarian look compared to the Imperial look that the Imperials got. Considering how massive this is, I'd be lying if I said this had no issues, but on the upside, at least he has nice nipples. And also a quick little side note, don't pay attention to the messed up feet or legs if you happen to be a certified hater and have noticed that in my video. It's only like that because I'm using bits and pieces and I don't currently have a Schlong mod installed in my game, so if you don't have one installed, the leg textures and feet kind of mess up, which makes bits and pieces retexture a certified cultural mod of Skyrim. And of course, as I mentioned before, the Forsworn have also gotten a new look. This mod doesn't replace every single Forsworn armor, just a lot of them, and mainly for the male characters, no female as of right now, because this mod did just recently update. So we'll be getting updates and patches pretty soon. But one part of this I did mention because I wanted it to be a good exciting showcase, even though I'm boring with this. It does also replace the Dawnguard armor. If you don't currently have a mod that replaces that, and you kind of want a new modern look, then this is probably what you want to use. But maybe don't expect any diversity. But honestly, some of you prefer a lack of diversity. I won't go into details about that. But up next we have the new personal favorite of mine, Steel Plate Armor by Nordwar, adding in quite a few sets of steel based armor, meaning that even though these look amazing, they'll probably become useless around level 5 when you start fighting stronger enemies. But you don't have to worry about that completely, considering some of these have stats equal to the steel plate armor, making it useful for later on in the game. But what you'll love about this armor pack is that it offers different parts to pick from, and honestly all of them go pretty well together, but I do believe these have intended looks for the armors that you're supposed to have together, considering sometimes they will clip. Honestly, if you're not face planting your monitor to have a closer look at the new 4K textures, and a cool dent supply to the armors, which I really don't see often, and also applies to the shields. If you happen to be using those with this mod, then you really shouldn't have an issue. Honestly, sometimes I'll be talking in these clips and I feel like I'm about to suffocate because I'm trying to talk too long without doing a break. I was definitely asking for help right there. But anyway, this armor offers 2 shields, 1 tower shield if you happen to be using For Honor in Skyrim. That one got a black prior, that's a new animation set that you might like, as well as a round one, and also a bunch of new steel weapons to go with the rest of everything. The only downside to this mod as of right now is that it does not allow you to see these on enemies, but that will come in the future when it's added to realistic armors, which is about to get a massive update. But you can use the R&B SPID file to see it in your world naturally, because what's the point of having cool armors if you can't see it in your game besides on your character alone? Our next mod brings us to the Orc Strongholds for an Orc Armor Overhaul. This mod is called Orc Armor Expansion V3. I still don't know what happened to the first version, it kinda got hidden before I was ever existing. But you can still find version 2 if you want even more armors, but we're focusing on 3 for now. This mod takes vanilla assets and combines them with Orcish armors for mashups, and then adds them to your game. The only caveat though is that you need another mod to see them on NPCs like I'm currently showing in this mod. But the upside is that I will link it down in the description, and it does not take an ESP, it only replaces the ones that is currently already included with this mod, so you'll be able to enjoy the best of both worlds. You do need to use SkyPatcher though to make it work, but honestly you probably should be using SkyPatcher anyway in 2025, unless you're on Xbox and can't. Or PlayStation, they get the worst of it, they can't download anything. I do want to point out though that this mod isn't really just a mashup of vanilla meshes because it contains its own textures. So even though the mod page does say that you can use ZAF-Bio retextures, it won't really use those, it'll use its own that is already compacted into this mod. And as you can see, the SkyPatcher kind of just distributes the armor based on the region that the orcs are currently in. Honestly, I'm not really sure, what do orcs prefer, warm weather or cold? I want to say warm, but then again, everyone pretty much dresses like it's 100 degrees inside of Skyrim, even though it's -30, so I have no idea. This next mod though, you can't even find on Nexus. I feel like it's pretty exotic when I say stuff like that, but this mod is called the Ordinator Armor. It comes already pre-generated with body slides for the vanilla body. There is no patch for 3BA or B-Hump, so if you want to see your character's boobs bouncing everywhere, turning metal into liquid plastic just to see it bounce, that isn't available yet because this mod just came out and you have to find it on Fuse Patron, but it is free. But because it is by Fuse, that means if you don't use fast or HDT or your computer can't handle it, you can use this mod because otherwise your clothing will clip through the ground. But also the upside of it being by Fuse, it means that the HDT applied to the skirt is at least going to be bare minimum acceptable. But then again, most of the things that I'm stating is only because this mod just came out within a few days. It is expected to have a non-HDT version, it's just not out yet. Up next, this mod is more for the vampire players inside of Skyrim, the ones that still decide to roleplay after 13 years. And yes, my character doesn't currently have a head, but we're more focused on the armor. I mean, you probably won't be paying attention to the head anyway with this armor. But this armor is by Kozakowy. It is called the Vampire Female Armor Replacer. But that is not why we're focusing on this mod. I just felt like I should showcase it, considering I'm showcasing a mod that enhances this mod. And yes, it works for all female vampires, including yours. But the real reason why I wanted to showcase this mod is because it just recently got a patch for HDT, and considering a lot of people are currently using this armor but not using HDT and also 3BA and B-Hump patch version, I figured I'd showcase it, and it just came out. This mod, as you can see, takes every single version that Kozakowy added into the game besides just the regular black version that replaces the vampire armor, but it gives them all HDT, as well as breast physics that fit for any custom body that may be new to the game. But because it is editing the already there body and it has its own body slide, you do have to build it first or else you really won't see this mod in effect, but it's definitely worth it if you know what you're doing. This next mod, even though I've showcased it before, I feel like it didn't get enough attention, but this next mod is called HDT Creation Club Backpacks. You guys really love when things have HDT, especially downloading weird random backpack effects, so I figured a lot of people would love this, but I don't think enough people are paying attention to it. I feel like people would start to appreciate things jiggling besides their character. Now you can have a backpack that jiggles on your back and moves with when you... Fair warning though, this mod does change the model with the brand new one, so we'll need a few new patches. Like if you use L-Sulfur potions, you'll probably need to have a patch for this unless you're okay with looking at vanilla potions now. And honestly, if you say you are, you're probably lying, but we're gonna move on. Okay, so follow me here. Just like the Kozakowy replacer, we're not focusing on the armor replacer, but this is a Savior's Hide replacer with the new black version that features gauntlets and boots and also a helmet to complete the set, so you don't look like a stripper. Instead, we're focusing on a mod that enhances this armor, as well as the Hircine ring. This mod is called Hircine Artifact Rework, and to get it started, we have to start massacring a lot of animals. Pretty nature friendly. This mod takes the Savory Hide and Hircine ring and makes it pretty endgame worthy, giving you new spells when you equipped any of the pieces, as well as new passives to make playing a werewolf worthwhile. Like the skill you're currently seeing called Hunter's Style. Using 40 beast souls, which you get from killing the NPCs, you cast it like a power to turn you into pretty much an absolute unit. Each weapon has its own special effect on top of the basic stat bonus that's already pretty strong, like bows shoot faster, or mace will cause infinite stun to small non-boss enemies. But it doesn't work on things like giants. Or the skill Hunting Blessing. This one is also a self-passive boost, but a little bit weaker than the other one because this one only requires 20 beast souls instead of the 40. And it boosts your stamina and stamina regen, as well as allowing you to crit more often and do more damage. Or you can use the one that marks the enemies, which also causes more crit damage, and it makes you pretty overpowered honestly. But they both have long cooldowns. There's about 6 skills between the ring and the Savior's Hide, and this showcase, as you can see by the timestamp, it's already pretty long, so instead we're going to focus on the parts that I love, Like the Spear Werewolf Fence, which boosts your unarmed damage by about 40 damage, which is already on top of the basic unarmed damage that the Hircine ring gives you when you first equipped it. This mod also adds in a way to become a werewolf without doing a companion's quest line, because when you equip the ring, you get a skill that allows you to submit to Hircine and become his werewolf companion. Well, not companion, because that implies Ostim, right? Maybe I'm overthinking things here. I mean, some of you have a fetish for Alduin, so maybe I'm not wrong here, but that was pretty much it for today, guys. I'll probably make the next video longer. I just wanted to get this one out because I had fun making it. But as of right now, I hope you have a great rest of your day. Peace and love, guys.